Jadi dan bukta wal bula.
Ai wobula. Ino pinki lagala.
La bengul sonale bagola.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I greet all of you. It is midnight in our North America time. It's 12 a.m., 7 a.m. in South Sudan, and I believe the same thing in East African, afternoon in Australia. So first of all, I will say thanks for those of you who show up. What you will do first, share the video, please, to your friends and your groups so people can come. One of the other thing too, we we, the Jing Padang media, we will try to apologize to you guys. We are in a season of busy, and that's why time is become now limited for both of us, the media host team and then the leadership. So it become too tight, and that's why we did not show up this afternoon in our time. Some of us were working, some of us have family problem they want to deal with. So for that being said, this is the thing that we could tell you. It is just a time in North America, especially this month all the way to December. A lot of things will delay us back, whether those who are going to school or jobs, workplace will be busy all these coming months. But these are the one of the reasons you did not see us coming up afternoon in North America time and then evening in Sudan. But we will try. We will try our best. Topics are running there down. Um topic number one is about the consultation meeting between governor and deputy governor and vice president and president himself 3 weeks ago about the mayor of Malakal. So we are here tonight to update you what we hear and what we know, how the meeting, the outcome of the meeting between deputy governor and governor himself and vice president. So that's one topic. And then the second is about the IO defecting generals in the border of town of Meganis. There are a lot of activities that we need to update our people too about that, and could this affect us as the people of the far north of Jiang Padang if anything come out to be confrontations between those general and their ships or their CNC, which is Riek Machar. We don't know. So these are the two topics tonight. We will be here about 1 hour and a half to update. Thing to do with Malakal based on what we got on the ground. The mayor of Malakal, last time governor and deputy governor, they disagree on mayor issue because the governor tried to appoint mayor without consulting the deputy governor, and that's took so many months now with no mayor. And on top of that, there are too many arguments who will become a mayor of the Malakal and who cannot. So what we heard last week, there is a compromise that has been done about the mayor of Malakal. The mayor has suggested to come from these other two tribes or three tribes who are not involved in the conflict of Malakal town. So based on what we know, the mayor either will come from the Nuer or Maban or Koma. That's where mayor will come, and the deputy mayor will come either from Baliet, which is Ngongwaliak, or Koka. One of these two counties who are belong to the Malakal, the deputy mayor will be from the government side, the IG, so will come from those two counties. That's what we know. And for sure we know it because we talk to the right people about this. And then the third, the other second deputy mayor will come from Agwelik, which is definitely come from Shiluk. So that's what we know based on the thing that we heard last week. One of our brother try to twist things. So people compromise if we let this go between Shuluk and the Jiang Padang, as it's not going to go nowhere. So, and on top of that, there was the issue of Malakal. because there is another Malakal who become a county in the West Bank, where they were still having dream that you will have your county in the other side of the West Bank, and you want to have office inside Malakal, and Malakal is not uh, attached to the so-called Panyikang anymore, because Panyikang is in the other side. So that issue too has been solved. The county commissioner of Malakal, which is Malakal Chiluk, had to go to the West Bank and establish his own headquarter on the other side. So these are the information that we know about the compromise that has been done by the two parties. Again, I will go to the Meganis issue. We all knew that it's been now 3 weeks, very intensive between the IO themselves, the chief of his staff and his group who are there with him. There is a lot of issues going on. And this thing, we are very serious as people who on that side. We want to alert our people that we know how this, our brother, the thing end up. This thing will end up in a fighting later. As we all know, there is so many a disagreement between Machar and his chief of staff, and between Wulong and his Machar, and between all these warlord generals who are in the Meganis. They are not happy. So what we want to tell to our people to be aware, because here in the Western media, the supporters of Riek Machar are saying that, oh, yeah, we will have our forces go to Rang, and they will come through Rang and all this. So the question, are our people aware what is going on about Riek Machar being supporters here are bringing drum of their army will come to Rang, while we know that there is no any IO army in the Rang. Meganis is in West Bank of the Nile, which is close border to Nuba Mountain and Kosi. So if anything want to be broke out to be war, we need that one to be aimed over there, not to across to come to the east side where we the Jiang Fadang are here. We don't trust whether the element of Riek Machar to be in territory of Rang. If they want to deal to themselves, they had to across the River Nile. They need to go to the West Bank. That's what we want to tell to our people. And the other message will go to the general who is in charge of Division 1 in Rang, Jamus, Rane Choldan Turjong, Comrade Dao. If this message will go to you, these are the rumors that Riek Machar will bring his. This is how our brothers try to betray people in one way or another and try to come in a different way. So you as somebody who in touch with Jamus, are you aware of all these rumors, whether they are really or not? Which I don't believe some of them will not be true, but this how uh, they share their information with the false information without critical study or critical thinking. So we are urging people in Rang, Malut, Akoga, Balia to be really on alert with these things. And you see the video, there are video in the social media that has been played yesterday, and I am going, because we did not download it direct to our studio, but I am going to show you the video clips here in my cell phone, so you will know what we are talking about it. And after that, I will come and conclude my phone. So, Brother Bia, let me check this video. If I will find it, I will show people if you guys can see it there, and they will know what we are talking about it on the ground. Let me take this out. We are showing you the video of the outcome of meeting with General Garwi yesterday in Meganis. They bring a goat and they kill it and all these. They were doing traditional beliefs. So let me. Weapon shortly. All right, let me show you the Garwidwal again a little bit. I will not finish this one, but all right, I will stop there. Ladies and gentlemen, we show you this video and conclude my point. So, Brother Bia, let me check this. From that video, you can make your own analysis and your own judgment what is going on in that town. This is just recently, last night in our time, which is yesterday in your time in South Sudan or Sudan. If you analyze it, you will come out with a lot of things. Garwidwal say in Nuer language that they were calling their God, you know. General Ulony was there, so Garwidwal tried to pray by saying that, God, we hear that there will be fighting coming, whether tomorrow or tonight. Please let this be known to you. If it's going to be happen, let us know. That's what Garwid said. And the last word he say, they don't want the black black guys mind, which is maybe Riek Machar. So, and then Ulony was also appoint another person to speak on behalf of Shola language. And there was an Anywa guy, and there was a Nuba guy. So what the video can tell, you can see there is a fear. That's one thing that you could come out. There is a fear in their town. And any movement, the thing could go wrong. When you see a leaders like that going back to call their own God, it's not an easy thing.
So the video could come a lot of things. There is a fear, there is a rumors of the fighting can erupt anytime, whenever. We don't know who and who, but it is an IO by themselves. Those who think they are supporting Riek Machar and those who think are supporting Garwidwal and Johnson Wulong and Mabiordo. So in that case, there were a lot of video that we shared to you guys, a lot of the so-called NAS in Khartoum. They talk a lot of things about what's been going on for the last 3 weeks. But we were not ignoring you, but we did not get a time. So we are telling people from Rang all the way to Malakal, on this side of the river, people need to be on alert and watch out what's going on exactly. So these are the few remarks or few words I can say, and then I will stop here. I will give it back to Brother Abiel and Akot. You guys can take it from there. So this is the update. I told you about Malakal. If you come late, maybe Abiel is going to repeat the same things, and you will hear from Abiel. So you guys can take it from there. Thank you.
Ben Wilson, thank you very much, Ben Akot, and all the viewers of Jeng Padang Media. Thank you for joining us. This live video will be conducted in English and Arabic, so that we need to pass a very important message to our fellow South Sudanese that are actually listening and those who will go and listen to this live video. The Jeng Padang Media came to brief or to update the people of South Sudan as well as the people of Jeng Padang in diaspora and wherever you are about the consultation meeting that actually took place between the first Vice President, Dr. Machar, the governor of Upper Nile State, the doc, the deputy governor of Upper Nile State, James Starr, in regard to the issue of the appointment of Mayor of Malakal town. This is, as you are all aware, Malakal town mayor has not been appointed because there was disagreement between the stakeholders, the signatory of the peace agreement, the two principals, which is the deputy governor and the governor of Upper Nile State. Malakal has been a contested city between the Chiluk and the Jeng Padang about the ownership of the town, and people continue to talk about it, and that what hold actually the appointment of the mayor based on the agreement and the allocation of the seat between the two principals, the SPLM and the SPLM-IO. What we have heard so far, based on that consultation meeting, there are two things that people need not to be confused. There is Malakal town, and there's Malakal as a county. Malakal as a county is in the west bank of the Nile. And when the two principals met, the meeting also, the consultation meeting also within them continue to have the security advisor, Mr. Tutkeo, was also in that meeting, and the consultation meeting on what hold the appointment of the mayor of the town. So when they separated two issues, the Malakal and Malakal, as we all came to learn through the press statement that was released by the Minister of Cabinet Affairs, Martin Elia Lemoro, that the two actually separated. Malakal has to be moved to the West Bank, where it belongs and where it should stay there with the headquarters in Washuluk. It's an agreement that is unchangeable, and we supported that agreement that was reached by the two principals, the SPLM and the SPLM-IO. Especially we, the Jeng Padang, we support that agreement. We support that decision that's taken by the government. because the Malakal and Malakal are two different entities. Malakal town is different than Malakal as a county, and therefore it was moved to the West Bank. It's not an issue. The issue now was an appointment of the Malakal mayor, which is Malakal municipality. They need to be run based on the agreement that the mayor will be appointed. As when the two could not come into agreement, the governor of Upper Nile State tried to impose his appointee without try to impose the appointee without consulting his deputy mayor, deputy governor, and it was an issue between the SPLM and the SPLM-IO, between the governor and the deputy governor, because as you know that we are implementing peace agreement, and implementation need two principles actually to be in consultation. The governor cannot unilaterally appoint a mayor of Malakal town without consulting the deputy governor, and that was the whole, and that was the issue that was actually preventing the appointment of Malakal mayor. And when they came to Juba, they had a consultation meeting between the first vice president, Dr. Machar, the security advisor, Tut Galwag, and these two principal, the governor and the deputy governor. And they came to understanding that since Malakal is still a contested city, is still being contested actually who own it, because the issue is not the population in the town. The issue actually who own the land which Malakal town was established and which Malakal town was built on it. And based on our historical, it is an ancestral land of Jenga Padang between the two communities, the Ngok and the Dongjol. And that is something that people should come to know, especially our cousin Shiluk, that were that our border with them is the Nile. They reside in the West Bank, and we reside in the East Bank of the Nile. And Malakal is actually to happen to be in the East Bank of the Nile. Therefore, that is the clear border that we have with them. And if there was actually a good willingness of having to live without any concern, I think those Jing Padang should have been given the right to be appointed as the mayor of Malakal city, whether it should come from the Ngok or the Dongjol, these two communities that actually share the historical town, which is Malakal. And this is the fact that we have, based on the 9 districts that we have in Upper Nile State. Malakal happened to be part of Sobat, and the Sobat district was actually consists of 2 Jing tribe, which is the Jing Padang, the Dongjol and the Ngok. These are the people that actually came from the Sobat district, and then Sobat district happened Malakal to be part within the Sobat district. And we know that Kodok was part of the district that was predominantly Shiluk, and there was no an issue with that. But the reason why they came or migrated to the east, they came through so many things: the internal differences, the internal crisis within the West Bank, and also through intermarriage with us, the Dinka, and through the in-law, and also the economical move that Malakal became a economic city within Upper Nile State, and therefore it comprised with all 5 tribes of Upper Nile. And then it was 9 tribes by that time, but because Jongole was used to be part of Great Upper Nile, and also the Bintu. And when these 2 states came out from Malakal or from Upper Nile State, then Malakal, which is the Upper Nile State, continued to have the 5 tribes: the Dinka, the Shiluk, the Chol, the Nuer, Maban, and Koma. So we were hoping that the government would actually listen to the cause of Jinga Padang people that appoint the sons or daughter of that area to be the mayor of Malakal town. But there was a compromise between the SPLM-IO and also the SPLM, which is the deputy governor, and the governor of Upper Nile State. Yes, that since the issue of Malakal continued to be, contested town, the agreement was that neither the Padang will be appointed the mayor of Malakal, or the Shala or the Shilluk will be appointed the mayor of Malakal. Therefore, it will be appointed from the other three tribes, either from Nuer or from Man or Koma. That will be that was a compromise that was acceptable, and we came to support that decision based on the fact that we need peace to come to Upper Nile. We need to live peacefully with our neighbors, the cousin, the Shilluk that we have, been living together for a long time. The issue of the ownership is something that will be resolved through litigation. If they have a concern that Malakal belong to them, then they can take Jing Padang to court, so that the issue of the land can be legally settled, whether in South Sudan or anywhere that appropriate for them. That is now the issue that is in place. Therefore, the mayor will not be from Padang and will not be from the Chiluk, which is acceptable. It's acceptable the fact that until we resolve the issue of the land ownership. And as I said earlier, the matter of the fact is not about the population in the town. It's not that we are populated in the town, then the land in which the town was built on it belongs to you. There's the ancestral land of people of Jing Padang, and we continue to believe that we have a legitimate right. We are not claiming it because you don't claim what belongs to you. But we want people of South Sudan to understand the fact that who own Malakal and how Malakal become city or the ancestral land of Jing Padang. This is something is there, and anyone that disputes it have to present the fact to the people of South Sudan. And anyone that actually do your own research, you'll come to understand that there was no Shilluk in the east bank of the Nile, but they reside in the west bank of the Nile. Now, this is the issue of the Malakal mayor and how the Malakal mayor will be appointed. His agreement is a compromise between the SPLM-IO and the SPLM, between those are representing them, the SPLM, which is actually on the 55% of the seat within Upper Nile, and the SPLM-IO, which was given 27%. So now let me talk about what is looming in Upper Nile State. The current catastrophe that may unfold within Upper Nile, the defection within SPLM-IO, and we know that Magenis is in Upper Nile State. It's not far from dominantly area habited by Jing Padang, the Rang, Malut, Akoga, Baliad, Malakal. And if there is any concern of security concern, these people will be affected. And that's why we want to alert our people in this area that what is happening within SPLM-IO, whether it's the military differences or whether the defection or whether the removal of Dr. Riek Machar, if they happen to fight, our people will be affected by that war. And therefore, we want to caution them and we want to alert them that there is a concern, there's a security concern. And you may be a target. You will be a target because the motivation or the motive of those who may have disagreed with the Dr. Machar in Juba may opt out to cross the river and actually try to shut down the oil as they see as a mean or resource of the government of South Sudan. And if it happened that they brought a war to where the government institution is, where the resources has been extracted, which is the Paloj, then will definitely affect our people. So our concern is the life of our people of Jeng and Padang. We don't want to be part of what is happening, and we want you to be very alert, and make sure that you know where you are going, and you know that if anything happen between the SPLM IO, they fight among themselves, then your life will be at stake. You will be affected because of the differences that they have, and we don't want that just to slide without you being aware. And we are all enough of war. The people of United States continue to suffer. And every time there's an issue that is differences, our people continue to suffer because of either it's a military defection or political differences within the government of South Sudan. And this is what we are seeing now repeating itself in Upper Nile State. It is our concern as the leaders of Jeng Padang here in diaspora. If we know something that will affect the livelihood of our people, we need to inform them. We need you to be informed that the security of our people may be at risk because of what is happening within IO camp. And therefore, this is a message for you, people in Rang, or people in Malut, or people in Akoga, or people in Malakal, as well as our people in Baliet and PG, because most forces of the SPLM IO that are actually defected were from Dr. Riek Machar, based in Maganes, and Maganes is not far from this area that we have mentioned. You're not far from our area. So take it very, very serious. The government of South Sudan needs to be very vigilant and protect the livelihood or the life of our citizens, the citizens of South Sudan, especially in Upper Nile State, so that they cannot fall victim of the war that they know nothing about it. This is an issue within the camp, and it cannot be dragged to the people that have nothing to do, because we are not a member of the SPLM-IO. We have not supported that movement, and we continue to stand by the government of South Sudan, support the government of South Sudan because of the security concern and being protecting this, the resources that the government of South Sudan is benefiting from it. And this is the issue why I brought us to the live, so that we'll be able to inform our people that what you have seen happening in Maganes may spill to our area, and we want you to be very aware. When you're coach, you can take it from there. I may come back later on, then we'll be able to ask some more.
Thank you so much.
I ben a coach there and tweet message it in the core gibble bin ben. I ben tung jang nyanding taban wo lo analysis ka lo ro kra ayo na ye yu ki ben chin kok ba ben be jo kram well book in tweet link. You are good at that military analysis. Yani na ne che jai ke den won ngi even though ta ka be jo ke lut de ko ke ting fa yin to ko bin ben la ko wo ki tweet link ba shwe ben a coach go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. We can later. Ana bashkurkum shadid بهذا المساء. أنا I will try to speak my broken Arabic.
Yeah.
لأنه
في إنجليزي.
Yeah, في ناس في بقنات في السودان ما بسمعوا إنجليزي at all. عشان كده شوية اللي عندنا ده بتاع العرب ده نرموه هناك عشان بكون في واحد سمع كلمة كلمتين عشان يعرفوا الناس بيتكلم بشنو. أنا بشكركم يا ويلسون وبنيبيالكون على سبجة أنتوا جيتوا في مسدا وتوبيك أنتوا خطيتوا فوق ده. طبعا ده حاجة قاعدين نتكلم لنا ناس قاعدين برا بذات. ننا we are not there. ننا ما قاعدين في البلد لكن ننا شايفين كل الحاجات الماشي في جنوب السودان. لانه بقى زادوا بقى لنا مرض. يعني لو واحد معايا الفيديو بتاع لغه ثاني هسه اخواننا نوير وشلكم بيقولوا مثلا قال بيتكلموا باللغه بتاعكم باندر تيبل، لكن هم عارفين اللايف هم بيعملوا ده كله نادا بدانغا قاعدين معهم حتى الحاجه بيعملوا كونه الساقط بتاع هنا باغراوند بنشوفه عشان ناكد منه اول حاجه هو زول بيتكلم في شنو. وعشان كده الزمن ده ما في حاجه بخطو وقالوا ما بظهر، شايفين كله اي حاجه. عشان كده ده مسج لكم انتوا عشان انتوا تعملوا حسابكم لما عادوا يسمع كلام بتاعك ده. باي ذا واي ما في هذا في الجنوب، لانه ريك ماشار عمل ساين ذا بيس وناس ماشي جوا، ايوه ماشي جوا، والناس في بروسس عشان الجيش بتاعه ده يعملوا انتجريشن. الناس اللي رفضوا عشان ما يمشي جوبا ديل ده يا ناس الخايفين يوم هم طردوا في كده ده يا خايفين ما يمشي جوبا، قال حاجات ثانيه ممكن يحصل. عشان كده بنجي عشان نوريكم الوضع الماشي في الجنوب ده، عشان نوري الناس اللي ما عندهم فل انترنت عشان يسمعوا من الناس. ممكن نجي نوري لهم ده شنو ماشي. زي ما اخواني قالوا قدامي، الميتنج اللي كان او صراع اللي كان ماشي بين ماير وما ماير بين جبنر وجوبة الجبنر ده، يعني ما اهتموا في جوبا، يعني ما خلص هناك وتخلط بطريقه صح، بطريقه عداله وشفافيه، عشان ما في زول يكون يعني ظلموا، لانه ناس في فيسكو كل الناس البلد ما في شركاوي اصل من دينكاو، لكن اي زول بدو حق بتاعه. عشان كده الناس دي ما شافوا الماير ده يدو لزول ما يكون شلوك وما يكون دينكا، وديوبتي يجيب من دينكا. ناس الدينكا ديل هم بيقولوا عندهم حق، لانه ده تاون حقهم طبعا، تاون ده حقهم، لكن لو ناس جاب عداله وناس دايرين يحكموا ناس عشان الناس يكونوا فيس، اي زول عمل تنازل. عشان كده انا شايف جورجيا يوم جنط فوق اسبوع الفات، يعني في كلام نفس يوم القرار كان عمله ده جنط في ميديا، وبقى يقول والله يا الناس ده جال باج، وبقى ما ينسونون زاد والجبنر ده زول قاعد ساكت. لكن ما كده حاجات ده كومبرومايز فور بيس. الناس اللي بولعوا النار في بر هنا ده هم قاعدين في بيوتهم، زول قاعد زي هنا ده كده وبياكل 24 اور، لكن ناس اللي قاعدين في يونيو ده تعبانين. عشان كده ناس دايرين فيس، عشان ناس اللي في يونيو ده يجوا يطلعوا ويمشي ملكال، زي ما هسه شايفينهم قاعدين يطلعوا وبمشي في المدينه يعملوا حاجات دايرين ويرجعوا، ما في زول ضروب ليميتين عشان ناس يقعد في يونيو. وعشان كده الماير هنا ده الجبنر مع الديوبتي بتاعه هم عملوا كونفرمايز، لانه حكومه ملكال ده ما بيد بتاع حكم براو على كيفه. ده كله ده تو هنا ده اثنين فاتي او اتفقوا زي ما سلفا قال يا جماعه امشي اشتغلوا اجل الناس، ما عشان يشتغلوا هم بنفوسهم. عشان كده لازم هم يعملوا كونفرمايز ويتكلموا مع بعض ويعملوا تنازلات زي ما هم عملوا. هم رجعوا هيجوا ملكال يقعدوا. So we have a full information، ما في fake، لانه نتكلمنا دايركت مع زول كان قاعد في meeting. So we know what was going on. الحاجات الماشيين كلها عارفين. So انتوا يا شعب الملكال وشعب النيل، ملكال ده I think will be peaceful if people want peace. زول المدار فيزا ده بيكون مشكلة، لكن ناس ماشيين كويس. The governor is doing good even though I'm not happy. أنا ما مبسوط بأجارة تاني، لأنه بعد مرة بغرب على كيفه. زي كان هو جاوب بإلكشن، حتى لو جاوب بإلكشن ما بتغرب على كيف. لازم make a consultation مع ديوبتي بتاعه، وبعدها تديو ميديا فريش ويمشي. لكن هو قبل بنفسه ذاته يا بمشي في راديو ويتكلم هاي ملكال ملك كده وكده ده ما بيجي. عشان كده يا شعبنا ده موضوع بسيط هنا جينا عشان اوريكم له ده شنو ماشي في ملكال فيسفول. لو في زول فرنجر يمشي ملكال ممكن يمشي لانه ده عوال بتاع مطر وناس دايرين يزرعوا، اي زول يمشي يزرع زراعه ما في مشكله، ناس يجيب نفوسهم. اما مشكله بتاع ايوه ده is a big problem، is a big headache. نحن ذات علمنا روتان نوير ذات بكلام بتاع ايوه ده 24 اور، يعني ناس ما بنوموا برا هنا. السكرت اللي قالوا في مجال البطلع في دقيقه بيجيبوا لنا هنا، بيجيبوا في ميديا ما بقول. وهاتين بتصلوا مع جرويدوال، وهاتين مع هنا جرويدوال بعد مره بقول يا جماعه I cannot see and I cannot read، وفي بعض they are pushing him عشان يكون رئيس. لكن في زول بيكون رئيس هو بقى خلاص عجوز ما بيشوف وما بيقرا، هو بيقول لهم يا جماعه انا بقيت دور عجوز كبير. لكن أجاد القاعد يعمل رياقنا داقدم ده بنشوف حل بتاعه. طيب نحن كشعب لأن قضيتنا شنو؟ قضيتنا نازل ما يعمل مشاكل، ما يعمل مشاكل لو هم عندهم صراع عشان ريك مشار كلام برا ده حق بتاعهم ما عندنا قضية، لكن ما يجيبوا لنا مشاكل في على النيل. ولن قضية حق ده we know لو كان هم نازل ما في السجن في ريبل بقول في مال مكشوف مال بعرفه وما أكوما ما بمشيله عشان يضربوا ولا يطردوا، ما عشان هم أكوما عارف نازل قضيتهم قاعدين يعملوا في شنو. ممكن يرسلوا لهم القبط الجنسي واحد تب 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 انتهى، لكن عارفين الموضوع بتاعهم كله. عشان كده ناس قاعدين يعملوا صراع ساكت هو بيبا بيبا أسفل بيبا أسفل بيبا ده فوروات. عشان كده حكومة هو عارف نازل بيعملوا في شنو 24 hours ده ناس مساكين ساكت. شوف الكنماية جابوا ده جون قرن يومات لما بمشي أي مهل ما هنا بتاع بيجيبوا كنماية تعبان زي ده بيجيبوا فورس مين ويقتلوه وناس يتكلموا كويس، لكن الكنماية ده زاد الجبال أنا شايف لو رموا كده بقى عبارة ما عشان تعبانين ضيفين قروج ما في هنا أكل ما في ناس جايين بدأ كان يرجعوا دبابي يومين ده تسمعوا عندهم وفد برسلوا لكرتوم ولا برسلوا لجوبا عشان يمشي يعملوا هنا هم قضيتهم دايرين يشيلوا ريق برا من الهنا بتاعه ده وهو اللي يقعد في محل. أنا في واحد قاعد يتكلم كده أصلا، لكن ده ما قضيتنا. قضيتنا لازم يكون في سلام في الجنوب، يكون في سلام. كنا زين يجوا جوا عشان الناس اللي قاعدين مخيمات ديل ده من بقى طويل خلاص، لكن لو هم قاعدين دايرين يحركوا ما بقدروا. ما في زول ما عنده مهل بتاع دواء، زول جعان بنفسه، زول ما يعني ما عندهم هم بيجيبوا أسلحة من وين وبيجيبوا وين. البشير في السجن السنون بتاعنا ده كله بينتهى. البشير ده ياو كان ضد الجنوبيين، لكن بشير هسه ما في. do you think منو كان ضدكم؟ معلش انا مشيت برا من الهنا ده، لكن لازم اوريكم له الاسفلم ايوه لما كان ياونا تعبان ده ليهم قروش بمشي لبشير بيجيبوا كاكي بيعملوا شنو يقولوا بشير كان مبسوط داير يدق الجنوب ده برا ويشيل البترول راجع، لكن وين البشير هسه بدق الضبان في السجن. يال بتاع محمد علي طه طردوما والامبار في البيت جابوا في فيديو انا زاد بقين متعصب عليه مرته يالو كله طردوا في البيت قاعدين في شارع قاعدين يقوروا. النافع للنافع بيت بتاعه كله صادروا عوض اجاك بيت بتاعه صادروا. يعني ناس بقى يقوروا. يبقى حكومه السودان ده عنده مشكله برقوبهم براو ما بقدروا يجي يساعد. سو يا اخوانا انا بجيب هناك وشكرا للزمن انتوا اديتني له ده.
Thank you banyak kau jin cuk lej red yanan budu kutong jeng taban kawan ni cuk ko ni tong English lakin kena lat de we kau ke pada wo go de nim malumari kifaya when yo ke ping achin ke be ya siriten ku ke bu ko ka luel ten ko bu ke ngop to guten achan telephone ga chigiran de lew bana chan bu ran ja yo be bana li ko cuk luel wani no ma fazada ke muk manata kan ke de gol min East Bank lahat Ruweng State big deal ajam wo ko buke deal afi de ko won yok ko loyrot kana yo wana chukwel ko tak dang biradi loy te ko je jadi na chan during 32 state ko we ko tawten won wa jam governance directly fa yen man tin chi bai be manam mana abia commission woni yin taw ke yin te taw jeng tin ni bia jam ko wok taban fa yen kana ayo yen ya baden kika balwel ngo jeng tugni mbutaw maganet baraw achan werke adenim jej de gen taw fi atar gen wulon ngeki wada gen dang taw me danam grib le malakal ten pine kalda gi wol teno gen ken te leg ben ke ko buru diglier yani mudrut akilwel yo menen el fat yad yo menen be ben ken yena big mu wagab den big le ko publicly ke ko taw maganet yi garwi dwal ke gara ne chol Johnson wulon fa de mo biga ken chal ko je ke taw me dan ji malakal ko ban yin ti de ko ke taw ni UN ko ban yin ti de ko je ke taw atar ko ban yin ti de a chan ko ge asib ko ken jambi jitene kwa chan bi nwe bi ramat e bi gran create ke bi nwe mat bi a irin ga jeng wene nafsu chiang den no wer ke ba pa kina ya lewi we ko ju to Malakal ku ja koko ku ja PG tu nyin to magane taw nyin ko rer wala ka dai ga pet ko kuma zara ko bi dai pet a chan malumat ko ke to tin last week ataban riek ye ga de ran ko bi nor ken chigi be week ko ran ko bi nyai bani so yena ngurga lo activities ke de ko ke dia ka chiga ben lu pick up ti ja nasren wulang e wayda mi ko chiga ke ruga ke general le chiga le jubo wan aki gel len ke nor ka pa so ko ge e ko la ben ke ko ge riek bi ben tor no su nor ken zadu de ran to kaman ran to wan ke ran riek ko chibe kai we ran chinyi jang fi ga jak ran ken da ra chir yek tu ko awul bari aran ken lu yogi ga liw lakini lu la ko bi wuret ke nok so the confusion the IO kien wok dir it will destabilize the peace in Upper Nile because ko get ci ga ben piot tong de na ci tong ya clear they don't know what they are fighting for fa yene ken IO yel le wek ci ga ni na piot no kalo yorot on top of that yumasha wan loy garang yum tisa ku kene na da ran ci dai chow buta idwar wona kol de ki ci ran ci lu yayi ci got ku le la kuma taw nyal gena ci be bay salam ela be nyaay bay force kene a lu gi entertain baraten ke ko je ke taw ke tamrodin kwa yigla jwage ci ko re bilu ya tag ente taw jatin ene to we giban so ker wi ay den ci queen ku ci got a lu se jaw bi ne tamradin ci mere de ban ay lu la bi dilay but ke ci ngi power ene taw mugu yay fi during with the SPLM ade ko je gemi yene tet ce bo en wi ay pa wi ay wane ci je SPLM man wane ne biyen yalla e ciol gala melita fita denga so wo ke we SPLM former SPLM won niju wi ay na de bor ca yin maybe uras bitaw ku ja tabagin bitaw lakini gera wan ben je wane mugu ben embi ke je so yena bug jating kede na kiwi man ke dang lu se jaw ba de na yuping yene le ci la hortum last week fa ku jarum mos wan ci ko lu last week no ke ga de nim coordination no gar widwal ba de nim coordination no loñ ken ci libya bi yit be bay but ki ngi ku yay ma ci nam goor go bi jabe no chan goor mi ge jeng yi ko de yel wan spele le bi ci nam nok na le nok bay bi ji na bu tok yita so koy ka ben no ka ci ngwan bi ci nim ter ban wa ci ka chuo ka ta ti bira nong de jabe la kor bi jala kor wuni man ga wun bu jating ti bena bentin fa yene ken e ka tawtin tu ko nyin bu taw ke kuer maganes baraw koy ki adenim different agenda ku ke ga adenim different group so ki yan ko taw me dana Malakal kuen ku koy tawatar koy ke biga yitek ba de na be koy ke riek ko be koy ke wer ke kero generalat kero fa yene kuer ken ko ba won ti dakal Malakal juwa ku jayen woyden yuen u diatar da ku jayen me dani taw ka tin ko won lagwi ke generalat bita wayda mi ci le juba guna legro la dukal wala ci ga yego rane yek $10,000 ko ge e ko la ben chien ku bi ko ben mobilize ke ko ke riek so mashakil bi gej mer bu toro de tuk ku na le la toro de tuk a chan ko bi gro mat le bi tong kret bi yen jeng a chan bu le jeng ci wu ka tek kage etika tik yake gloy fa yene kene aka ba ko ne yu to jeng ku rarang ko ba nyin ti tan nge chin jing de na to rang ta la kin man ti na lo gi too much noise ajelena de ko ci ga de rang wa de ko bi ben fi Khartoum ku ke ga big lu jama frang ku je ko wetem fi rang leg long ti magane tabana to West Bank the north of the Watakona so kage e ka lo yurt wek bay na e ka lo yurt ci kage ina yara ni chol dana turjong en tawge mu jamus yug laki na yin ti di ni na pet ki yemen bay yimal ci ko won kon ran ci mo long loy ci ko ba be loy fa yin yin ko ba tiak ko ka bai ba malumat ba ki ga ping cha na de ku ki ten we wer kan taw gor long tu wo ci ko won we ran ci la ko wo de nim 30% ye pung tung de shulu very well wo de nim ki ci 20% ki pung ko ci well wo de nim 30% ki pung tung no wer pet ay tung arab cha de be wel 75%. So awu ga nyindun go ga jindun jeng dang wen we betaw far sos na de ko rat ku de rana tawten ki men jeng ku taw go mugje ka ko bi dila kolos ke ge motanin ku ja wer kan wen ke taw ke asaker bi ki chilwel bi dila ping dang dia wen ngur ga de nam babur ken wan ngur ka tawti a ci lebi ko reer no ka dida taban kaga bera ngeji ki kaga le bigo ngor lu yen ka yudu ko lo yen ka sarar kan lo ke ba ke kaga le ko nyinti to wen am ban from Matar all the way to Rang bu ko nyindil tit no jerjere yen lo rat a ci wo bu dam chuoba bi ko gub kon jaka pa lakin ki ben wo chuob gor wan ci bay me danam taw malakal abe yite abe ko wele na big support de ko achan wer ka big rushal ba big krang de na big chal by this coming week based on kechuping ba yen kene yen ka ba matin ku ba lewe ku yere ci magane zoto e wor kay ban ata long ti long de ko ke ruwen taban ade gen tawge tabar ye ko de gen bi tawge tabar yira ni kal krang fa tung piet alwela ruwenri ya ga yelimit ko buk japing ba ci ga den chal hana lela chal ke wob nim de ko tendi gabna bibbe taw ti ci wulo nyaran ti be gat ci chen be aran riek mana ga gabna ci be taw ge moñ bede kene ke buk jalwel ba den di ci opposition de wulo ting ba da ngi go bi jal fa yen kene e pour se de wo ga dang na ci ko to ka tok tani ran ci ko ka ta ke ce ka tok ayo ka buk dil geñi jene ke den ken ana wo ci bimbe majdi ran ci aran ci gatan mana yin ran ci ori ko ran kai ka kuma in masak bala bitti je bai ran wani yin taw ga ran kai ka kuma in biya gabna bita da farna a can wani wana ci jam ci kiwa na ci lele yin wulan yin kana la wani wun kai wai ana ga ci jakkur wai ban wo ci bi majran ci wani wun kai wai ba kan ku dang dugu jwag wai ga bai ku ke wana ga kai wai ga agenda de ne padang ce national agenda very clear fa ene kan ene ki ka ba martin ku yamba ko ite na chan damanda ke lokolo ayoku will come into an conclusion. You can take it from there.
Yes, I think you brought up a very important question about the differences that within SPLM-IO. We have no involvement with it, but our concern is that whatever is boiling may spread to our area. This is only the concern that we have. And of course, the people that are standing with the government of South Sudan and the people that the oil is being extracted from the area, and the main objective of this, whether there are people that are going to be standing with this supporting the peace agreement, or they are not going to support the peace agreement, is something that we're going to be seeing, because it will be another round of discussion between the government and the new rebel movement that is actually looming within SPLM-IO. And if there's a war, of course, our people will be the victim, and we need them to know very well that it's not only in Maganes, but also those who are actually living around with you, like you have mentioned, people in POC, people in those are some side of the rebel movement, especially the members of Agolek. These are the concern, because their own objective is the land that Padang has grabbed the land, and this is something that we need also to caution the Simon Gadwich and his new movement that is going to be breaking away from the SPLM-IO. Whether you align with the Johnson Olin, the man that actually took up arms to fight Jin Padang because of the land? Or are you going to be fighting the new SPLM IO movement, going to be fighting the government of South Sudan? You have to be, you have to distract yourself from this man. Johnson Olin has nothing called reform. He is not fighting the government of President Kiir. His own rebel movement, Agulek, as we know the objective of it and the reason why it would form. This is the man that have brainwashed thousands of his kingmen, the tribe, because that your enemy is not President Kiir, but your enemy actually Jeng Padang, that he's been accused of grabbing the land. And these are the objectives that he has. People in Atar that is occupying the land there, and also the people that is continued to train the young men from Shilluk so that they can wage a war against Padang. And I want our people also to be very, very, very open-minded. You have to be alert. Yes, we are not fighting any tribe. We are not fighting anybody. We are peace-loving community. We welcome anybody, but you need to know the people that are actually residing with you, because you do not open your door to people that are unknown that will come and turn against you. This is something message to our people in Malakal, our people in Baliet, our people in Koga, in Malut, in Rang, and also in Rueng, because some part of the SPLM IO, part of Agulek Post is actually occupying Unkur, and Unkur is part of Rueng administrative area. This is the area of Jeng Padang. And we hope we have people that in Atar that actually continue to reside there illegally, even though the peace have been assigned, they should have left and let the people of Atar go back to the area. This is something that alarming to us with the Jeng Padang, and we'll be able to know that the line between Simon Garwij and Johnson Ulling, it is something that people have to be very, very, very aware. If their own objective is to fight the government of South Sudan, then they should not bring the war to the innocent civilians that are residing, especially in the Jeng Padang and Upper Nile State. And Upper Nile State is actually fed up of war. We need a peace. We are now talking a language of peace. We are reaching out to other communities that let us have peace instead of fighting, recruiting, civilians to fight among themselves. The differences of political differences cannot drag to be the issue that can affect other people, the civilian in that case. And you said those of Uya Ajak, they were known to have successful in SPLA because he was commanding actually mostly from Dinka. And most of troops that were actually commanding and waging that war, they are not from Shilluk. They were not from Shilluk. The battalion that was brought him up to be known as the liberator within the SPLM, and nothing to do with his tribe. And it's something that you should know. It's not the person that fight the war. It's not the commander that fight the war, but it's that the foot soldiers that actually fought the war, and also the officers that were fighting that war in which he was commanding them, and was brought up by those people. So if he forgot that the people that actually brought him up to be known in South Sudan, then let's see what will happen. Because if we believe that the government of President Kiir can be brought up, can be toppled by forces, then actually I think it's mistaken. And I will regret the comment that I have made, because I know that he's not happy. He's not happy, even though they were part of people that actually messed up the SPLA in the first place, because it was chief of the staff. He did nothing about it. And as soon as you relieve from your position, you became unhappy and tried to, to wage a war against the government. The government, of course, government has a long arm. Government cannot just sit idle. Even though there's arm embargo in South Sudan, the government of President Kiir will not sit idle and let the civilian be killed in his watch. I think they have a responsibility and mandate to protect the life of civilian and property within South Sudan. And one thing that I wanted people to know, of course, also the government in Khartoum It's not the old government that was interested in insecurity in southern part of the country, which is South Sudan. President Bashir is no longer in power, and I think it's up to the current President Kiir government to build his relationship with the current leaders in northern part of the country, so that they cannot support the rebels that are fighting an empty war, the war that has no objective, the war that cannot, and they continue to be happening again is because of the peace agreement. It's something that we should know. As soon as they say that we are not this part of peace agreement, I don't think the government of South Sudan will condone them to stay there. They either make their mind to support the current peace agreement, peacefully remove the person that they say is obstacle to them, Dr. Machar, and continue to say that we are part of peace agreement. And if they make mistake of waging war against the government of South Sudan, of course, the government will be able to defend themselves, will be able to defend the livelihood of civilians, because they are mandated to protect the resources. That the intention is to shut it down so that the government of South Sudan cannot breathe, or the government of South Sudan cannot use those money. Now that to develop the country, we have seen the oil for road, oil for development. Even though the people of Jiang Hodang are not currently benefiting from what's happening, but we hope that the development will come to that area, and we'll be able to, people of South Sudan will actually get the fruit of the independence of South Sudan. But every time there's a good thing that is happening, people that has a bad intention continue to drag people back to war, and that's what is happening now. And I say that President Kiir has been more lenient with the rebel. He's a man that doesn't make his mind. You either fight the war or make peace. You cannot just have two things. You cannot be a peacemaker, and when there are people that are actually trying to bring you down. And any country has the right to defend itself from aggression. We have seen in Ethiopia what happened in Tigray region, and something that the government has a right to defend the civilian and protect the livelihood of innocent of people. So if Johnson Olin thought that aligning with the Simon Garwij will fight for the land, that the objective of Garwij will be also the same objective that he has, I think is mistaken, and something that needs to be done about it. We need to reach out to people, especially the Nuer, that you have no war with the Dinka, there's no war with your neighbors. We know that the only man that pick up arm against tribe is Johnson Olin, and Johnson Olin is saying clearly that he's fighting the Jiang Padang, in which they are accused of grabbing the land. And also with the Jiang Padang, we are saying that we have no issue with the Nuer. We have no, especially in Upper Nile state, with the government internal differences that happened within SPLM that caused the war in 2013 and engulfed the whole nation. And there was no need for people of Jiang Padang to be a victim of what has happened in Juba. But now that we have seen, you either detach yourself from Johnson Olin and let Johnson Olin stand alone to wage a war against Jiang Padang, so that we can know who is actually fighting us and the issue, the cause that is fighting us for. I know that our people don't be blind. That Johnson Olin is for peace. He's not for peace, and has never been for peace with the people of Jiang Padang. As you know, that his objective is one, and it's continue to be one. And the question that will continue to ask, if they break away from the SPLM IO, what will be the position of the governor of Upper Nile State, the man that said that he's Johnson Olin and Johnson Olin is him? So will be up to Dr. Machar, the man that if we continue to stay in Juba, implement the peace agreement, then we'll lose trust within the governor of Upper Nile State, because he will not work faithfully with his deputy, and the SPLM is going to be having the same objective that Johnson Olin actually continue to pick up arm for. I think this is what I just want to say. The people of Upper Nile State, especially the Jiang Padang, are concerned about what happened in Magenes. are concerned that the objective of Johnson Olany is something known. Simon Garwidwal should not, align with the Johnson Olany, the man that actually, he's not fighting for reform, or he's not fighting the government of President Kiir, but is fighting a tribal war, a certain ethnic group that he has mentioned. And of course, the Jing Padang will defend themselves against people like Johnson Olany when it comes to the self-defense. It's something acceptable anywhere, not only in South Sudan. So thank you for the viewers of Jing Padang. It's our concern, and we will continue to talk about it. If you want to add something, then you can add.
Yeah, I think I have not much. I have a little bit to add, and then I think that will be my conclusion. Kuwi ban le yek ba jam tong jiang adeng message tin ka ba thik ka piat dek ma ta ka kwa nuer pa na nya lwa pe zat ke ka chik nga moñ de chik ye le deng wi big loy a ching nim secret at all chik moñ ka la we jiang da ka lo rod ma genes kana yan chi jam my best friend from nuer side a chi le kana a che yi ke lak ba den loy ko we la ko nyin we ko wela aspele nyin we ko bezat aspelam a chan big ni ma big wel gal nuere ci pera to god wala ay wo da namu kele to but es sera ko lo ga ngi a chan no big dak fursa bi yen tinga ten yen tinga Riek Machar bi je be longa chumal ko bi je ken longa ngade ko bi wela take to no oil bi yoga nyuji ten bi gam denke gala chan bi je gar wi wala chop lakin gala cheyen ek wiji biko oil dom yan big dom within so in a bigger jej den chan big fursa yok big gam jej bigger jej bay ne ko big jej ken chumal ku teke ku jar gar wi wal tan ciuru palpi ge ko tit na le ba je dom gar wi wal ko bo ku khalas a cha tu le de chan big chobo oil to kala big oil the big pipeline big team code wala nyop ki mana khalas kide junub ci so kanin junub ko junub ina we gien law beza yang kami sejen kena pet ke banyu banyak padang kan gal tiet ki nyin na ko kaga a che luet la na ke ka chik no one side ko wan lo ra 2013 kana a che secret ngi ban na yi wan bol bram ken wela tong de angi cha ir no ngi ban ka dan jem ni but ya ka wan chim lo wan ye che ka dan chon ma tiang nyor ban lo private so ka dien wel wo giang da pa ni nya lo ka ching ni secret ken ne e ko lag but who knows maybe chanen bi be gal news ki garang la do ko tañu jaram kala ñuy lo long wat ko na yen leke ñoy tim ku luy gro organize ten ke geje Riek Machar na bi ku lel gal ñuy ci malakal juwa no ke ci ñuy ci malakal kala ñoy long ci lu ku lel luy organize ten ku jega tong len ban le so kana ma ni ci jen la we achan you may don't know maybe yi jen kana dan ko lu kana enam liak lanu ran ci wan ci to ci la juba kana gale spokesman ta ay woda la jala di kene ko ba timat so en message la we ga ko ayo kam ko tan bi bijelon dai ka pet na de ge ci la bi ngada bi chief of staff wala hinaida cholnga tinga minister of defense e ci ñuuji ji waram le ñoy bi ku cin je ñuuji fi maluk wala ñuuji fi ngada oil fiel no ñuuji ke ga yir so kana message den balwel ka pianga dik and majority of you to ngoto jeng we ko ka spelam so en kan la bala we ko thank you guys ayo kan ko ta
After the coach wo ben into conclusion ayo message kila ran bi nyaay ran bi jala dole pa ayo ko chelwel ke planning kin ga ke pani nya lok taban planning kin to kin ka ken chuka dedi bye ka kene chuka dedi fa we tu ku pyod law ke ka loiro ka 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 loiro ako bang yin tit long de malakal ai ke ka loiro ka 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 loiro ako bang yin
uncle kuro ko ba de bay to ba miam to ba cell phone ba lu sagado
okay ai ben kurin chuk welcome uga ko buk chok lakini ache beni buk meje pursa ana yipung wen ke ka jamu ke tin ga na de ba matin ga madatin
Ayen we chakil mozo de we padang media ben we chakil ba kwerin wong irot.
Yep.
Chaping ma then a ban. Chaping we tom again is Taban kene yi ke wen cha ti cha we jam ti ne ta ne lakin na che we wa pa yen jeng ben ne leg. Ke chol ya ni cham ben ela to jeng. Ela to ke jeng and Louis victim. So ke kene I cham yai men chiri ke jike. Lakin a chin tirang biga la wiatin abela to jeng. Ke en jeng chok to bar ga dal wi jeng to jongule ku we ko ya to condition ji ben. So yene tane ku a chan ke loy ben a chok ba tong kam ke la to jeng gin. Chok ba tong den on kon ko thor larab. Pa ka thor larab ku ke jeng ne ngur ke la pe ku nak. Kating akayen ningran kibinin kulele kene anang tijama ayen len wetin ali weyen jeng ye doren cham jay ku choga doren tarto kan kabi jeng martin le ye nuer kabi jeng martin ye chulu kabi jeng martin baden tong kene ache tong dom ke wut ku biga kuma yoboy e tong khasarat
Yep. Kasarat.
e khasarat e kene yene ka yo jeng yo kulele tieri nyintu kudu lo ya kuma mbi en yintong e jeng yena le lo masker yene ke kediena le ba jak tin kana ko we tagale de ka we nyinti pandun ay ran ki jolo ping ka ki blo le ken lek ay kay jaran u chalek kay ran a chakun a chaka diet nyal kurer ke tim nom ku bokor ko be bela champion tan ideal I can be len win call be cham be yele ka jodu do go tim yen ke chok da wo ko to media gana ayu le ngai chro ko ke a kin ke pie de tak ke che ke e ya krai ya gen yen ka yen chul ka jam ting man ku chok jam kam ke Riek Machar man ju wel ge gen ka tin ku koy wen man gar we dol a chu go le ka bani nyani gen e gen da do gar we a chu go ke gen ku koy wen man dortu ka chu go ke mu le dortu de gen kene ke ri ni gen ma ben we gen ne ke woni ke ga nang go ke ke te ga wiati ne liu te ke la wi nam tin yene ke ka dal lakin yen akina kuma ko e gen ne ko kan tin nang yo ben e chol te den tin nang I war tin nang piu e chol te den ku ka bonen wa ngi ke de den de bi ka pana la ngi wo ko men ne ran da ma ngi chin le gen bo ko la ngi Kiranda jam le jeng kol bi jeng afana laki lakin ran bena ngi ku birthday bien so we kene ene ke babel le we gan kibichen ana ga ke ko lo ke we ta le de ya we ko ku le we jeng ben ite to wantin a chan yen yin iran tong ku ngi ro ga tin ti ri nyin tin ku de ko ye ga tin kirka nin ke ga len ka sarat ka go ene le ke jeng ben era ka we de to
Apia dare tin chugle ben kur werge we pengene karang de be pruzen kenam de
ayin
go
togo
aiwa ai picture di na chibu be karang ya temba lu refresh ko chibe apros
ala ba jam ci mo woni to
okay
jam
ai yin chugle kur kudi te ne ke chilwel kan ai yo gene te de ka kan ke a che ko de ke lo ke pet ken ban ke ko jing ye ban aman yo mi se to a jo to je jing dan woni be tia ke gol min arang le gura tar go be jot arang le godi in jongle ku le long ti a jan ni ade kilma jil wel man tin krij bene la to jing ana en war ci ya ku le la ci kër yek be wi a ci a jang yek be dat a ci go a jing nga a ci go a jing mana yin ga la ting bene la gudi jing ta ca ku min wi fa yen wel ka chake ping wek ba chin tidit bo ke tin ping da chidit kuna deng malumat tu ko be yok nyak abungor ka le kai wek lakini ne kalo iro ka ken tong den e kasarat ke bi ke loy chenon de wundi bi dam la no lakin ke won chia ko luel riek ku le kai mat ke ting de luela de jing den ko bi be lui ten dim frang tu ko gam le we long ti ma gen da to long grang den long chulu to dun ni ne be ne nuba ku ja yenen kosi yene riek ti jing de be ku pan tu ku tek ten tegre bi la ben yene ku de ni ke tek tin ban wala jot jing de kartum ku le ram de ram ke bat ko won luel jing den ga taw me dan nim ban la wer ko lui declare ke ga bi gi tek ko taw me dan am malakal abede ko gi riek ko bede ko ke krang ko gi gar wijwal ko ja johnson wala fa yene ken yene message yene biu ko lui ki share la ke ko yene ko lo ga ken wo pung wo de ki chitri wi ka yene krang ute lam nyong wen lam le ma gar wijwal ken jem ke yi krang lu la yirane ke nyok lam adega twak ke bitik nin ke tikine nyali den lor ke jane ko jamun ke ko chiri yo ko de ni malumat non bi ke ga jamu chan ri ka ye yok ban de ci bugam fa yen pinda ci dit ko chu ko le we ko tun wo ko nyali je to ko we ya mo ko tene be nya bi la ja ku na de ke ji be lu be ga na ja na ja ku la kina I think ya mo ko tene kabar yen bi ko ka kan we cha le
Quite the Keba Martin Chan book
I think about Martin Ping the Yidi Red. Yeah, Uncle Kuri ni mother red with your baron.
I appear that message when Jalu is the one in Wilson, especially the commissioner Kwan counties, Manto, Ran Rang, Ran Malut, Ran Koga, Ran Bali. I call big book there communication cake. And Taban get commissioner academic school peer Morton get out and kuna de ke chuga pin ko buga de ke kiman chu ban kana Taban no ra na chiri yup telephone ban abile ran be pin ran jeng padang to fi juba to fi palo bibela jot bela gam ka jon ke chin network kiman ko to tar ko to wat to tin ko to ngok ko to long da ko ga ko jene me abibela leke. So kada work information ko book dira la ka work no kana shi salam da ba no kai fada ba ka ke salam kuma ne yogen kana fada ce jal ko la makpin yi kuma na jak le jeng ne ci kai no jeng da ba ne ta kuma da kirma yadit kuna ya kuma da kirma yadit ka ce jeng ban nan ta kuma ko ce jeng ban ne je da jinub sudan in mana tarwan ka je ga demlo ko seno bigodel gel taban yina nin rogel na rogel le obi banok bi nak ko nyana rogel ka je wo bi nyin del leb do kana na tong bo tong ka sarat na ga chak log bi jada bi tak mo ya ba bi yo ka bi mo to ni na bi da mo bela mo bang bela nok ka chin chok na se bela jamana an kana chuk rai mo ki ko bu tong loy tin man taban na jam ki tong ata lem ke lem ga tabana de kraj ba wa de ki chul chik tin wa chi ko ke chul ko ke ban ka ke banai you know we ko man de ga banere zaru ka lem go ke ke de wo dal so we ji da chi mishila ma wo kaman de ka ye lam tu ko bu ko we be la lam bi tin na ke bo ben de tawo din ke ga de ke be jainam ke yen kana ko bu dil bu la ko ke wo we dai ke tong bo ke ne tong ka sarat ale we ka sarat saket ko chu dab del ter ko to woji ten da kan malakal ko ke tin ga ke ko ka je we ko de ko den de den to ke ko je ran chol olen kana chi wang nim ko le ko je be to chi wang nim ko de nim ko chi ni ko wa le malakal ban ko ken ke ma shakal loy we ke la ba jin yo lep ko to malakal kana na da kana le pa ke men le bi ko nam kana hel bi ko je ra wa ne chol be tu wal big be ko ke ra na ben big be ke ne ben den ka asele ma yo be ya dia ka da asele ne be tu men ko bi en lu endorse tena ka da asele ne Riek Machar ka da asele ne Simon Garwech ku ja gulle ka kana taban gulle ka ne ki wunta ko cái lom dang biak de pin nen ci po dang ci jot ko ne ken ko bi po dang ni le bro di ran ci dang lom biak di yin na chak la bay ke wo ci mat ko ken mat ko yin ko la bay ko dang pe ken lom dang kana ci kana jale pio ken ka ba le ko jing po dang bak dil dai ba ko ni le ja kum da junub Sudan in the mandate ba moton ba del gel in the mandate ba resources ke dola ba ke gel ene kene ita ko ni tren yin kir ma yadi ja bañ de jej ke teng ke lo ken gel ki moton ni ke to ci tonke bu nok ba ko gel ke man hadada wona ke resources ke junub Sudan ci man ke to ko ni ben ene jarman ta polo kinen ko bi graj na le graj ta bana ci biya tasir de moton na bi awon haja bi moton na bi lu tasir because jakana ko le deb ko moton na bi le awo ko moton na bi work ko bu de moton bi la nok na ta jonde bang na to dom de yen ko bi pur le la nok ke cin ni eno ko le la ko nyin de lep ko kum da jinu Sudan alla dat ko kum da Shimal Sudan ke mahem na ko ka ta go dunyin wa ta go dunyin ta na ta ko ko salam na le ke ta ko ne ki ke mo jo this time ina ke ta wan ko dor ko mat bi jinu Sudan bi da dor kuna ci dor ci raj le ro ci ko bu ko dor ka be kum da jinu bi jo tin bi lo yen ka kum da Shimal Sudan bi ga pol ten bi le jalgi ba retin bi yak kiden ga pa jigen na ko bu le ko reden ten taban ko ci ko salam ko yitam abade da sele wo ko ga Upper State Upper Nile ci gum wo ko bu de salam wo ko bu de dor ko bi re ke ci nim la ko ci ber yaaj yen bañ mu salam ko jitan bañ ma bañ kur ci le ban ci men wo je be yok ci ben ci ga wo ko bu bu tiyala
ayin wo but yo ko ne ko nyala je to ko wo ben we chu ko le ko ci dai up to the end video da bu ko ci ne wo ci dek sa nus wo ja be yok ci degen ke ji dit ci ben ayin le ko tok yin ko ci ne ping wo yen te bu ko ci na nyala ko we thank you
am dita
ai taw dit